Hello, Fragging Grandpa. How y'all? Taking a look today, I was going to try to build one of those small kind of doctor's office, the kind that I would have went to at a young age back in the early 60s and the late 60s, early 70s, somewhere in there when I was a youngin'. I would have went to a small doctor's office where there would have been maybe a nurse, an examination room, and a doctor. Little small office, and I wanted to make a small narrow hallway so that I could take a look at shifting the foundations to make that, and I also wanted to take a look at merging walls to make the walls a little longer, a little different. And there are ways that are shown on the system to merge the walls with the floors, but I thought maybe I'd be able to do a little bit of it with foundations. So I'm going to try that today and see if it works. So what I've laid out here is a small 3 by 2 area here, and I'm going to go ahead and put walls up around it. I like to use the barn walls to build, use the doorway walls, and I'm going to go around this just a little bit here to make the outside of the building. Okay, then I want to separate 3 areas, so I'm going to separate these 3 foundations with the barn walls, and I am going to double wall them. You see how you can put the barn wall up and then turn it around when you have 2 foundations together to make the double wall. So I'm going to do that here. May not be the best thing to do here, but I'll stick with that for right now. And I got the walls up around. They have perimeter walls, outside walls, and inside walls. And now I'm going to, in order to be able to move the foundations or offset the foundations, I'm going to use our magical, what I've heard called the magical catwalk. So we're going to find the catwalk over here, way down the other end here under miscellaneous structures, and go to the catwalk that we could pick up from the Adam shop. I think they're still in the Adam shop. I'm not sure, but you could pick these up, and they have kind of magical properties. So what I'm going to do is place a half floor catwalk here, and then I can go on the back over to the foundations, the ones I have stored down here, so I don't have to look everywhere for them. If I still have some stored, yep. And I am going to put a foundation at the other end of the catwalk, and then I'm going to snap a couple of foundations to that foundation. Now this is just here temporarily to give me a place to move the walls, move the foundations to offset the foundation so we can make our small hallway. Now I'm going to get rid of the catwalk. See, now I'm going to pull each of the end foundations from under the building and snap them to the foundations I have here on the outside. Okay, that lets me slide them over, and the reason I can do that is because these walls are all doorways. If there were solid walls, we wouldn't be able to do that. I'm going to continue to move these over that half foundation 4-way Let's see. Once I've done that, that leaves me room to merge the foundations. I think I am going to have to remove these double walls here. Leave that one wall facing inward here like that. In order to merge these walls, we need to use the regular basic walls that came with the original game. Solid walls. These are the only walls that I know that will merge correctly. So we'll put those in that place. Then we will have to burn those walls. So we'll go find our handy dandy flamethrower so we can destroy those walls by burning them with the flamethrower. And it is over here under turrets and traps. We go down and take out our flamethrower. Now you do need, as you see on the side, you need to use your fireproof level 1 and your home defense at level 2 to be able to use the flamethrower trap. We put that down and we activate it and let it burn that wall. Then we can turn it around and activate it and let it burn the other wall. So we have those walls burnt, and I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of flamethrower trap. So now we go back to our wall sets. We get the regular wooden wall, that the original wall that everybody starts with, the wooden building set. Okay, and then we'll go to the doors, and we'll put a regular wooden door frame, and you see how it lets it sit there in front of this wall, and it does the same here. So when you go back and repair the original wall that we burnt, it merges those walls. See how it merges those walls together? That's really good and really nice. A way to merge walls. There's another way to merge walls, and I used when I made my revolving glass door on my last camp, and I'll show that toward the end here after I finish with this. So now we're going to turn these solid walls back into doorways, and that'll come in handy because we're going to be moving our foundations back in place, and we will have to have doorways there in order to move the foundations back. Now on this end, we're just going to place we're going to go back to our barn doors, walls, doorway walls, and we'll place on the end of these rooms that doorway, and we'll double wall that one so we can put wallpaper on both sides of that. See, once we have those walls in place, everything's back in place, we can shove these foundations back in place. And guess what? I realized you can actually move these while you're standing on them and move along with them. How about that? That's really great. I thought it was really great, sneaky, and tricky to be able to move those up while you're standing on them. Well, move all these walls, these foundations back into place, leaving those extra out there where they were before. We'll be getting rid of those shortly. Okay. Okay, we have those back into place. We can turn everything on the inside walls back into regular wallways, or regular walls. Everything that we're going to use as regular walls, we'll turn back into regular walls. Even these barn walls, we can turn back into regular walls. I'm not going to do that right now. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of these foundations outside. Sometimes it won't let you delete them until you move the one in the middle. But then you can delete the other two. So we're going to delete these. And we're left with our basic structure here. These walls I'm going to turn into brick. Okay, cause I had them brick before when I built it before, so I'm going to just replace them with brick now. These outside walls. I'm going to make that one brick, but I'm going to leave it a doorway. And I'm going to use a kind of fancy looking doorway here. Well, it's a window. See, my old eyes are seeing different, and that's why I'm hitting the wrong buttons too, because my old eyes are seeing different than what's actually there. Okay, the fancy doorway there. These two will be just regular brick walls also. Okay, so now we're going back inside here. We're going to change these to brick also. Just regular brick walls. Better for wallpapering and better as accent walls also. I just turn these into regular old brick doorway walls. Well, okay, now I'm hitting the wrong buttons again. Oh, there you go. Regular old brick doorway walls, and we're going to turn these walls into solid brick walls. As I said, better for wallpaper and accent walls. See, and when you come back out, you see along here we have a narrower hallway here, and we actually have the rooms are actually a little bigger. They're 1.5 foundations long by 1 foundation wide, and then we have our hallway is only a half a foundation wide. And that's what we set out to do with changing the foundations, with offsetting the foundations and merging the walls together to be able to have this small hallway. Now we could have had a small hallway on this side too. It would have took a little extra time, so I opted to not do that. We put roofs on here. The thing with the roofs, with this type of setup, with these walls merged the way they are, it will not allow us to put a flat roof on, so we have to put a slanted roof on. So I'm going to start by going to the getting a slanted roof and go ahead and attaching a slanted roof to each side wall here. And now then we can go ahead and go down a little more. Make sure everything gets snapped in place. Might have to go outside to get this one. Okay, let's go outside and get this one. Snap that one in place there. We want to jump up top with I have marsupial, so I can jump up top. And I'm going to place flat walls across the top here in the middle. Okay, I made that wall like that. I want to trade this out. I'm going to trade this out for a corner piece. I'm going to make a little different piece on the roof. Make it look a little different and on the front. So I'm going to switch this out for a corner piece. And turn it around. Well, that may be something I do later. Let me go ahead and put that back right here. I'm going to put a corner piece here. Where it hangs over a little bit. Now I know you'll go because you went before. There you go. And then a corner piece on the other side of that. So I have a little kind of a hangover here. I'm going to turn it into a little porch maybe. There. And I'll put some foundations down here. Okay. Turn that into a little porch right up top here. I'll go ahead and put some brick wall pieces up here. Well, take that back. Let's put this over here. And then put this one on this side. Then we'll put a half wall in the middle there. Like that. And then we're going to go on the other side and do the same way. Half wall in the middle. Slanted roof piece. Slanted wall piece. You know what, it might be better if I go back outside again and go to the back side of the house. I may be able to see it better and put it on better. Okay, so yeah, that worked a little bit better that way. And I'll go back in again and put some. Now there is a way to merge these walls, these half walls up top by burning them, but I'm not going to do that right now. I'm just going to sit these half walls in. Like this, and we'll just pretend that they're right, I guess. Okay. I am disoriented here. Trying to look at this wall to set it up. Let's go ahead and put one here, And then we'll go ahead and see. Okay, I'm trying to put a wall up there, but I'm getting disoriented when I'm trying to put that wall up on that tiny little piece on this side there, right there. And I know a wall will go up there because I've done it before. Okay, let's take it outside for a minute. I'll draw it closer to us so we can see it better, and then we'll take it in and see if we can get it to merge. See if we can get it to go up there. Yep. See, take it outside, take it up, bring it closer to us so we can see it better. Take it back inside the house with it closer to us, and we can see better, give us a better angle of loading it in on top of the wall, like that. These are the things that, you know, some people don't show when they're fast forwarding and changing the fast forwarding and splicing their videos together. They don't show this type of stuff where we're trial and erroring, doing trial and error to get things to work. Fortunately, with me, I do like to show everything so that we don't get the misconception that, hey, this is really, really easy. I can slap through this real quick. When I first started, I was watching those videos, and I said, well, that's really quick. That's really good. I'd do that. And then you get started on it, and I would get halfway through, and I said, wait a minute, how did they do that? It's not working for me like it worked for them. Well, because it's more fiddly than what they show, and you kind of have to play with it and fiddle around with it a little bit to get it where you need to be, where you want to be with it. This is a okay, I got that a little too far over. This is a blueprint I saw, and it makes it easier to put the post in if you're using them and you want to put them on the corner. It makes it a little easier to fit those posts in where you would like to fit them. You could basically put them almost anywhere you want to put them without having to snap them in their regular snapping area, which is a little bit awkward when a little bit awkward when you go to placing them, because they want to snap in the middle of the foundation instead of on the edge of the foundation. So we made this little blueprint, and it does help because it makes it easier to set them in the places that you want to set them. It does have to hang over there a little bit for some reason. And I did get it turned. Did I get it turned the same way? No, I got it turned a different way. But that's okay. That's alright for right now, just for demonstration period. Demonstration purposes. And so now I'm going to go to the defensive section, and we can put in whatever railings you would like that would snap to this, but right now I'm just going to use these because they snap a little bit better for me. snap those on to make a railing. I'm going to go to the stairs and snap some stairs on, and these work better. I like these because they're wide, they cover the whole foundation, and they are pretty forgiving when it comes to snapping into the ground and against other foundations. I put a set of stairs on each side so you can come up from each side, and that's the basic structure of that. I had built it where it's a little more decorated. See, we put a window here, and we had a window here and a window back here. Most of these outside walls were windows. I think that was a solid wall. This one was a window. This one was a solid wall. This one was a window, but I believe it was a double window on these walls, and a double window back here. And yep, that's pretty decent right there. Now what happened is I went up top. Let me go ahead and see if I can jump up there again and get up on top. And missed again. Okay, yeah, we got up on top. I used a regular Vault-Tec regular Vault-Tec generator because it's silent and it'll do the job here for this little small office. I put the Vault-Tec generator here. See, the half walls are sticking up through the top, but it doesn't matter because no one is going to see them from up here. Okay, let's see about placing a connector, and I'll place a connector down on the sides here. Place one here. Might have to go down. Yeah, let me go ahead and go down a little bit here on each side, and just wire those up. Then I can put my lights in down there. And you can tell that I'm hitting the wrong buttons on some of the things here because I'm jumping around and everything else. So, okay. So there, I got it wired so I can put lights in. Just for here for the outside for right now, I'm just going to go down to the lights and go to the yellow. This is a little yellow light that we got. Yeah, that was part of the freebies we got with the rewards from last year. If you had Fallout First from last season, season 8, you got that yellow light, and that I think that looks pretty decent on the outside over doors like that. That's this is the basic structure. I did go through and wallpapered this with the plain white wallpaper all the way through this main big room here, and this was used as a waiting room. And then I went and use the green wallpaper on the rest of the structure to kind of offset something a little bit, give a little variety, you would say, to it. And see the merged brick on the side does give a little accent to the room. So you have your merged brick on each side. Of the wall. You have your merged brick here. It gives a little accent to it. And the inside walls, it doesn't really matter when they're doubled which wall it is, because you're going to wallpaper both sides anyway. So it doesn't matter a whole lot what you use. Then to light it all up, use the wall lights, but I use the old-fashioned, or what we would call old-timey ball lights here. And I tried to place them level with each other, and I kind of tried to place them on the between the walls, where the walls came together. Missed it again. Let me go back. Kind of where the walls would go together. Here, placed one here, where the walls go together, and on this side, I use the one ball light, put it in the middle of this wall, and one on the side of the door. Then down under the nurture station, I use the hanging lights. The hanging lights, the red ones that came with the bungalow set, I put that here, and I put a little nursery station here, and then inside the examination rooms, I just put one up there for those. Lights do take up a big part of your budget, so you want to use lights sparingly. And then for the curtains, I went to the windows in this part of the building. I went to the curtains under the wall decoration, and I used these fancy red curtains here in the waiting room nursery station part. And then I went to the checkered or flower rose. It's red and white, it's roses. When you look closely at it, it's roses. I put on these windows that were back in the area back here to kind of dress the windows up a little bit. Yep. And on the floor, the foundations, I changed out the foundations to just the regular orange carpety colored foundations. They're new. Well, they're not new, but they're back in the atomic shop this week, along with the glass greenhouse walls that were in season 2 that a lot of people miss. They're now in the Adams shop, so you can buy, and they're a great tool to have to build with. So I recommend picking those up along with these orange carpeted foundations. This color right here. They're in, I do believe they're free. Don't quote me on that, but I do believe they're free this week in the Atom shop. And then I come outside and change this to the, I believe I used the brick on this. I'm not going to go through all the decoration of it. Yeah, let me turn that around. Yeah. Now I think it looks a little bit better as brick. And I put a doorway on here. What door did I use? Hey Grandma, what color door did I use on here? Oh, what, blue? The blue door, okay. Grandma says I used the blue door, so I'm going to go to find the doors, which I'll probably over. Okay, Grandma's here telling me about the doors, talking about knockers. Okay. Yep, here's the doors, here are the doors, here are the doors. And there's the blue door. And that's the door I used. Let's see about opening it. See, it opens to the outside, which is what you're supposed to do when you're in office buildings and things. The outside doors are supposed to open to the outside. As a general rule, I just know that because I've been working with contractors and stuff lately. And the thing that they say is on the commercial buildings, the outside doors are supposed to open to the outside. Go figure. On the inside doors supposed to open to the interior of the room. Okay. So yeah, so and I can understand that a little bit because you don't want people on the inside being hit by the door when somebody on the outside comes in and don't realize they're there. Let's see how that door opens. The inside doors are supposed to open to the inside is what I'm told. So right off the bat we see we have that one backwards. Okay, and then we can go ahead and put one on this side. We're going to turn it around. If we can turn around, there you go. Make sure both of them are opening toward the inside the room. There you go. And that also makes sense because the person inside the room would be the one mostly controlling the doors, locking, opening, or whatever. But there's your basic structure with your wallpapers and your carpet and lights and everything. And now and I did put a little nurse's station inside. Grandma, I got time to go ahead and decorate this thing up. Or should I just go ahead? I'm just going to go ahead and see about if showing how to merge the walls to make the glass door that I made before. See if I can find a place to do that. What I did with that was I put a foundation down, put a stairs, put a half floor up and then a stairs back down, which allowed me to put, well, I'm running out of room here. Okay, let me go ahead and take this structure apart and move it back a little bit so that we have more room to look at those things. Yeah, there's the farmer girl that lives here. I'll wind up having to kill her to get her to shut the crap up, because she wouldn't be quiet, so I shot her. Grandma says I'm mean. Foundation stairs, half floor, stairs going back down, and half floor there. Then I went to quarter floors. And I put the quarter floor, and the quarter floor, and the quarter floor, and the quarter floor. Then I went to the walls. Where are my walls? Okay, went up to the walls, put a regular vanilla wall up between the quarter floor tiles. Get out your handy dandy little flamethrower trap. And we're going to burn the shellac out of that. If I can get up on there, get close enough to activate it. Okay, we're going to burn that. And then we're going to get rid of the flamethrower trap. Go back to our walls. And again, we have to use the basic walls, wooden walls. See how it snaps there? It snaps the opposite way with the other wall, and it sits on the quarter tiles. We repair this, and then we change these to doorways. That helps us be able to remove the tiles down here. Now, it's kind of tricky sometimes removing these tiles because they don't want to go sometimes. See, like that one doesn't want to go. The way we get around that is we put another floor piece along the side, and let's see if it lets us remove it then. Still does not. And that's why I decided to go ahead and try to use the That's why I decided to go ahead and try to use the foundations with this build, because it does get tricky when you're trying to remove the floor pieces. And we put that there, lets us remove the floor pieces and remove all this junk here And we can actually move that over. We'll put another piece here so it's sitting on something. So yeah, so now we got this sitting on the foundations. We can go ahead and take these merged walls and turn them into any wall we want them to be now. And then you have merged walls. For my purposes on the other build, I used the glass walls that to make it look like a glass revolving door. Go ahead and select the wall here, there. Okay, there you go. See, that kind of looks like, you know, glass revolving door, maybe crisscrossed in there. They're merged together. So there's a couple of tricks for merging walls, and also a trick to let you build a more narrow hallway. I hope you stuck around to see that part, and I hope you enjoyed the merging walls and the small hallway. For right now, that'll be all for me. I'll see you next time. I want you to have a good time, and y'all be good and be safe.
Maybe I'll try a red door. But something had a knocker on it.
There's not room enough to put anything out here because of that tree. And then that's, you know, see how big that building is. You don't have room on this side to put anything. Or in the front.
The house went up perfectly.
Or in the back. Absolutely perfect. That might be why, because the networks are it just flashed up, said that so I just took a picture. I just took another picture